It is recording. Hello, happy campers. Working on the Stag today and trying to, still on the rumble issue, and I think the gearbox is touching at the top of the tunnel there, and possibly the solution might be to try and lower the engine. As you know, I've had all types of weird sort of engine height issues, and one of the main issues is I can't make it any lower because the mount on this side is already really thin, whereas the mount on the other side is like really fat to try and level the engine up. So I'd like to take this bracket out on this side and use my new welding skills from my new welding course to extend that bracket a bit longer so the engine will sit lower, use the same thickness mount, and then I can just change the mount on the other side for a smaller one. The issue with that is the whole engine going lower means that the sump will be a lot closer to the cross member and the steering rack. Now there is a bit of gap there. One of the main things I need to do is reroute this power steering hose so it sits more on the cross member and then up rather than between the sump and the steering rack. So to reroute that and the other one, the low pressure one, I need to, well actually I probably don't need to, I probably just be really carefully bend this swan neck metal pipe so that the hose sort of fits down here a bit more. But anyway, what I'm thinking of doing is taking the power steering pump off, which whistles and screams when you're turning the corner, and I've got a seal kit. Where's my seal kit? I've got a seal kit for the power steering pump. So I might take that inside and do it because it's Baltic out here, it's absolutely freezing. And then leaving this mount where it is, but getting a smaller mount for that. Which would actually shift the engine this way a bit because it's at an angle, so a smaller mount would sort of bring it this way, which is good because then it makes sure that we're clearing all of the power steering hose. Oh, you can't even see from here, power steering hoses. But this mount, as you can see, I mean, all these are bodged, they're all homemade, they're all sort of a bit weird. We are 2 bolts there, 1 bolt over there somewhere. I can't actually see at the moment. And it'll just be a case of taking that off, cutting it, re-welding it. So you can see there is a little bit of height before they get to the exhaust to play with. So I'm going to make that higher so the engine will sit lower on this side. That's my plan. So today's job is to take the power steering off, pump off, reroute those hoses, or bend the hoses, and then redo the seals on that. And whilst I'm at it, my earth cable ripped out of its thing, so I've shoved it back in there. I'm going to try and get it back in a bit more and then reattach it to where the water pump is. That's today's jobs.